This is Moston Station, 4 miles north of Manchester. The following story contains subjects that may be distressing. Viewer discretion is advised. It is Saturday, the 13th of December, 1913. Mary Elizabeth Jones is 32 and living with her sister on Smith Street, Moston, with her husband and 3 children. The account of Mrs. Jane Edwards, a sister of Mary, tells that Mary had a most distressing life. Her husband is known for his nasty temper and violent drinking habits, and today is no different. Mr. Jones arrived home drunk and tempers flared, and words followed regarding his excessive drinking. Mary was heard to say, "I will go away and leave you and do away with myself," before leaving the premises with 20-month-old Frank and Ethel, aged 5. She then left crying bitterly, telling her sister to look after Gladys, her eldest child. Mary was followed out of the house by her sister in an attempt to bring her home, but the now enraged Mr. Jones prevented this, and Jane was unable to pursue her sister over the golf course. And towards the railway. The next time Mary was seen, it was by Harry Brown of Newton Heath, the driver of the 3:52 p.m. Lancashire and Yorkshire goods train. Mary was seen running down the embankment and placing poor Frank in between the rails of the approaching locomotive. She then proceeded to lie across the rails over the infant. Without a second thought, Harry applied all braking effort to his loaded goods train, which still took 40 yards to come to a complete stop. When the grinding of metal and brake blocks had ceased, Mr. Brown climbed down from the cab to find Mrs. Jones a mere 6 yards away from the buffers. He lifted her up from the track and asked her why she had done this. She replied, "I am not a drunken woman, but my husband is drinking now." The station master soon arrived, but Mary was in floods of tears and refused to give her name and address. While they were talking, young Ethel arrived down the station ramp, and she was taken into the care of the station master, along with Frank. Mary was held in the waiting room until the police arrived. She spent 10 days in prison to be assessed by a doctor. She was formally charged at Manchester City Police Court on December the 23rd with attempted murder and suicide. The act of suicide was not decriminalised until 1961 in England and Wales. Bail was set at £20 and was paid by her brother-in-law. The case was heard on Wednesday the 18th of February 1914 at Manchester Assize Court, where Mary pleaded not guilty. Answering questions, Mary said she had no intention of taking her own life and knew that it was a slow-moving goods train. She claimed to have only knelt in the ashes outside of the metal with her arms around Frank's neck and denied that she had ever put the child in danger. "It was all to frighten my husband," she exclaimed. The jury found the accused guilty but strongly recommended mercy. The judge, Mr. Justice Atkin, said the prisoner had been very wicked and had been doubtful whether to send her to prison, but had been convinced under the circumstances to have her bound over. These circumstances were a glowing reference from her sister, claiming you will never find a more caring mother. And Inspector Harold Smith, informing the court that Mr. Jones, who had drunk heavily since the age of 18, and more since their marriage, had given up the drink completely, and had moved out of Mrs. Jane Edwards' residence and into a new furnished home with all 3 children well taken care of. Mr. Atkin did praise the engine driver in his summing up, stating that Harry Brown of the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway had acted with admirable promptitude, having only mere seconds to pull up his train. A second would have made all the difference. Thank you for watching. Please comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.